Hi, this is Greg Sprunk with Superior Cleaning Equipment, and I'm very pleased to introduce Nate.
You shouldn't be. Abrahams.
From Landa. He's a Landa sales trainer, and we're going to do we're doing some, Landa has, Lynn Fisher and his group are down here doing some RSM training, and so we have the opportunity to unbelievably have a lot of Landa product in stock, obviously hot water skids. So we're going to walk up through the hot water engine powered skid line,
yep.
Right? And we're going to cover the starting out with the portable MHC, PGDC, PGHW, PDHW, and SLT. Very, very rare to have all of these units in one place at one time, right? So, Nate, you want to kind of take it away and we'll kind of walk through what we're talking about?
Yeah, let's start with the MHC. One of our most popular machines. We sell hundreds and hundreds of these every year. MHC means mobile hot compact. It's a gas engine driven hot water belt drive. The nice thing about this machine, it's 29 inches wide, outside wheel to outside wheel. So ultimate portability, right? Through any service door, we can take the wheels off, we can put it on this trailer if we wanted to, and we got a smaller engine-driven hot water machine.
Kind of a great starting point.
Definitely.
If someone's wanting to get into the business, they want to start. Maybe they don't want to spend a certain amount of money on a large skid, but they want to start out and still get a belt drive. Mm-hmm. You get a 13 horse Honda electric start, right? Yep. You do have the fuel tank on the top here, unlike some of the other units, right? Full and filled tires, but you can take those off.
Absolutely.
Like you say, skid kit, and then and they've got basically, it's like a skid with a 13 horsepower Honda.
Yeah, and with the belt drive, it pulls awesome from the tank, so you have that ability. You can.
Yeah, the bigger pump has good suction.
Yep, you feed it with a garden hose, or you can pull it from the tank, but ultimate portability, like you said. And excellent cleaning performance. 3.5 gallon a minute, 3,500 PSI with this engine, so great setup. And like you said, for starting point, getting into the business.
And you still get a nice control panel. You got adjustable thermostat, hour tachometer. Mm-hmm. You've got powder coat paint, like all the Landa line, right? We're going to have electrostatic powder coat paint.
Yep.
I was describing that right. Stainless steel top wrap. All the Landa products.
Horizontal coil.
Yep, horizontal coil. You got a 5-year non-prorated coil warranty because other manufacturers will prorate, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
After 3 years, they're going to charge you more.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that. Just have to pay for the installation and labor.
If something goes wrong with this coil at 4 years, 364 days, you've got a new coil. Right. We're backing it up.
Same thing on the Landa pump. All these have the Landa pumps on them. They're going to be a 7-year
warranty on the oil side.
On the back side of the pump.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Best warranty in the business. Yep.
Okay, good.
All right.
Keep going.
So next one we got here is the Landa PGDC, portable gas direct current. A lot of people, for some reason, they consider this an entry-level skid, and it's not by any means. This is a 12-volt burner system, so a little less cost than its brother over here, which is the PGHW. We'll get into that in a minute. But this one has a 12-volt burner system, so no generator. We're relying on the engine and the battery.
That's cost, right?
That's the cost right there.
Wait, can you give a quick shot on the 12-volt versus 120 volt?
Yeah. So back in the day, the 12-volt burner system wasn't considered as reliable as the 120-volt system. Engines didn't put out good voltage to run that burner. Batteries weren't as good as they are today. Now, with these two side by side, I wouldn't say one is more reliable than the other. I wouldn't. The burner system on a 12-volt may require a little bit more service, but it's not heads and tails like it used to be. Back in the day, where I live in Minnesota, this is all we buy.
Right.
Cold weather, batteries, no good for the old 12-volt burner system. But not.
This is more of a feature-driven difference between these two.
It is. Yeah.
This is less money. We ordered in with an 18-horse Vanguard versus the 20-horse Honda.
Yep.
You can still get this with the Honda.
Sure.
But this is a good price point. A little less on the control panel, a little less bells and whistles. Mm-hmm. You don't have the generator, which actually costs quite a bit.
It does. Yep.
You got to make sure on 12-volt burner units that you do cool it down. Mm-hmm. Shut it down, turn the key off, right, let it sit. You don't want to shut it off hot.
Correct. Yep, exactly. Run it in cold water, let it cool off.
Yep. You want to do that on all pressure washers, but
12
especially for, on 12 volt.
Yep.
Okay. But still, belt drive, same pump as some of the bigger units. Doesn't have a fuel water separator standard like maybe the PGHW does.
Yep. A few more bells and whistles on this one, but I would not consider this entry level by any means.
Right.
Yep.
Great skid for a contract.
Absolutely. Same coil. We're gonna have same engine, same pumps, and a lot of configurations. But 12-volt burner, a few less bells and whistles, but that's cost savings if it's needed by the customer.
And some features on the Landa Skid that maybe that go with all of these from now on. We're going to talk about the PGDC, PGHW, SLT, and the PDHW are the vibration dampening platform.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice feature. You don't see that on a lot of skids.
Absolutely. You got an engine, you got belts run into a pump, there's vibration
Right.
there. We put a platform in there with rubber isolation, dampeners, whatever you want to call them.
That's exactly right.
Yep, just to keep that vibration, to a minimum, because we got engines and stuff vibrating on a regular steel platform. Eventually, those fasteners are going to come loose without, those
Yep.
dampeners. So.
And a lot of people, they'll say, well, we're going to put it on a trailer. That's kind of the vibration dampening part. Well, not really.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, you're still mounting it onto a hard surface, so having that extra, I think that's one of the reasons why Landa skid units last a long time. That's why we've got some over there that still run that are 20 years old.
It's added cost, for Landa to do that, but we want this to be reliable for your customers for years to come. So it's a no-brainer for us.
Good.
Yep.
So, is this wing burners on the Landa units?
Yep.
Okay.
Wing burners on those. 12 volt on this one. This one's going to be the 120 volt. But yeah, we moved to the PGHW. This is portable gas hot water, but now we're going into the 120 volt burner system. So we had a generator over here. So our engine, this is the Honda 630. The engine turns the pump as well as the generator, but that generator gives us good, consistent 120 volt voltage. So our burner is always running consistent.
So this one's running off the engine, off a rectifier.
Rectifier.
Right, that one's running straight off of the
Straight off the
generator.
generator.
Considered to be maybe a little more bulletproof still.
Definitely. Yep. Definitely. Yep. As long as the engine's running and the belt is turning that generator, we've got perfect power all the time. And that was the advantage of having the 100.
We sell this probably 7-to-1 versus the PGHW versus the PGDC. This is kind of the staple of the Landa.
Definitely. Yep.
I'd say of all the skid sales, what do you think Landa's makes up percentage-wise?
Of all the skids,
Yeah.
65%.
65%, yeah. And we have a big skid line. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, and this is more of a feature-rich product than this one. Maybe you can talk a little bit about some of the extra features on this one.
Yeah, so this one's, you can set it up a few different ways. Obviously our PGDC and our PGHW can go on a wheel kit. Some people, in the ag world especially, they'll order it on a wheel kit, they can tow it around with a four-wheeler or whatever. They can feed it water out of, whatever water source they have instead of just putting it on a trailer.
Right.
The nice thing about the PGHW doing that, this thing has cool bypass. It also has high pressure soap, standard. Now, if you want to put it on a trailer, you have to be using that maybe. It's up to you, but it comes with it. Also comes with fuel water separator. So not just a pleated diesel filter. We're putting a fuel water separator in there in case you have diesel that came with a bunch of water.
Yeah.
It's going to clear it out, easy to clean, and go from there.
And this unit also has the same thing, adjustable thermostat, tach hour and hour meter.
Yep.
I think this unit does not have a tach hour and hour meter.
No,
on
does
this
not.
unit, right?
No hour meter.
So again, 2,000 watt generator. We can get a 3,000 watt generator special order if you need the extra juice to run a vacuum filtration system. Same shroud. 20 horse Honda. We order this in usually standard.
Yep.
Okay, these I usually bring these in. This is a dealer preference in the 18 horse Vanguard. Separate this out a little bit. Float tank.
Yep, float tank in the back. So again, if you want to run this off of a garden hose, we have that cool bypass ability. So the machine can run a bypass indefinitely and not overheat that pump. High pressure soap. Some people like that, others don't. But this machine comes standard with it, so nothing to add if you do want that feature.
And both of these skids, unlike the MHC, have the larger fuel tanks, right?
Absolutely.
So you got, was it 10-gallon diesel, 5-gallon gas?
10-gallon diesel, 5-gallon gas. So it's maybe not all day runtime, depending on how much heat you want, but pretty close.
But definitely a nice factor.
Definitely, yeah. Especially if you're on a trailer and you're mobile, you need to have that capability of running most of the day. So.
Okay. So then we kick into the Grizzly.
Absolutely.
Whatever the bad boy of the line. There's an SLT and an SLX version of these. There's some differences between the volume that you've got, but this is quite a bit of a different animal from the PGHW.
Absolutely.
Because of this is normally a higher flow unit. We're selling this in a 6 and an 8 gallon.
Yep.
A minute configuration, right?
Correct.
So unlike a lot of manufacturers, and we do this in some of our lines too, but unlike a lot of them that say, hey, we can get you 8 gallons a minute with a standard heating coil. Landa, who's always been really, really specific about UL, we were the first to get UL specifications.
Absolutely.
We were the first to have CGA and some other certifications there. We kind of said, listen, if you want to get 200 degrees, you can't use a 3/8 inch. You got to use a full
big coil.
half inch.
Yeah. Schedule 80 big coil. I mean, technically we could put 8 gallons a minute through that coil, but you're going to sacrifice your heat rise, right?
Yeah.
And if customers want an 8 gallon a minute machine and they want it to maintain high temperatures, 200 degrees, this is where you go. Take a look at the size of this coil.
So I'm going to go back a second to wipe out the other thing. This is a half-inch schedule 80 coil. This is 3/4 inch schedule 80 coil. Okay, and you can see huge difference between these two coils, and the weight's substantial too.
Big time.
You can't just put this on a single axle trailer.
No.
You got to have a tandem axle trailer. You got to have some specifications, but.
And this is the small version. We have an SLX, which is even bigger.
Right.
10 gallons a minute, even bigger coil. So
right.
1,700 pounds is a massive machine. Now this one's set up, it's an 8 gallon minute machine, but it's set up with a Honda engine. So when you get to the SLX package, we're going to have the Kubota diesel engine on it. So you have a single fuel, that's important to a lot of people.
Right, especially the oil fields, right?
Yeah, you know, these typical skids we're just looking at, you gotta bring 2 fuels,
right.
Diesel and gas. If you go to the diesel unit, we're bringing 1 fuel, oil field especially, they have to have it.
Right.
But yeah, we're going with, just bigger and bigger. And that's the way we got Landa runs things. We size the coils, for the demand of the hot water.
So, but in order to handle this coil and kind of outdo our specs already, this is 1.5 inch?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.5 inch, right?
Then you take a look at a lot of the competitors, they're welding on 3 sides. That's not something that we do. We don't cut corners like that, right? We're welding all the way around these channels, so we're making sure that this thing can take the weight of this coil. That's the heaviest part of the machine. You want to make sure that this frame can handle that.
Yeah. So same thing, we've got fuel water separator, 20 horse Honda, larger rear. We're basically just, in order to handle this coil, in order to get higher temp,
yep.
We put this on a larger frame.
Have to.
Basically.
Yep.
Same, larger pump too, obviously, with the same Landa pump,
yep.
Same warranty, things of that.
Same everything.
Okay.
Upsizing, right?
Okay.
That's all we're doing. More fuel, more heat. That's what we have to do.
And gas and diesel tanks on this one. All right. So moving from the SLT, we're going to go back down here. We probably should have put this in between the PGHW, but this is.
Now we're going diesel engine.
Yeah, okay, so this is probably considered a step up.
It is, yep.
Because this is the PDHW, and this is portable diesel hot water.
Correct.
So this is your single fuel source that's also available in that SLT SLX model.
Yep.
This is the diesel version of the PGHW.
Absolutely, the PGHW.
Except it's got an enclosed,
Yep.
more enclosed frame.
And you can order this in stainless if you want it. Some people want a full stainless covered frame. We
Yep.
have it.
Yep.
This is the standard powder coated, but instead of the Honda engine, we're using a Kubota diesel engine. So 1 fuel, diesel engines just seem to run forever. And some customers, they want a single fuel, they want an engine that lasts forever. All right, we'll go with diesel.
And if you get a shot over here, the control panel on the side of this thing is pretty freaking cool. It's got a lockable side, panel that comes in and out here. But anyways, same, just diesel engine on the PGHW frame, but they just enclosed it and they kind of protected it more, kind of gave it a totally different look.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, PDHW versus the PGHW, really the only difference is the engine change.
Okay.
A little bit different frame, just because we're closing it up, making it look a little bit different. But other than that, it's the same components that you're going to find in every other machine we have, slightly different setup.
Last thing we'll talk about is the TRV. So the TRV 3500 that this is sitting on is, this particular trailer is a Landa favorite, right? I mean, I think it's probably a company favorite. We sell a lot of these.
Yeah.
But what's great about them is anything we've talked about so far has a mounting kit that can go on here. And what's really nice about this trailer is we got a folding tongue. You've got a narrow, when we first got these in, Landa actually, we have always built our own custom trailers, and the story is that Lynn from Landa, who was our regional sales rep at the time, said, why don't you bring one of these and check it out? And I said, no. It's got kind of the hose reels on top. It's got, kind of a weird tank and this and that. We brought it in, he shipped it one down here anyway. We sold it the next day. Because municipalities loved how narrow it was. They liked how it was easy to store. This tank's got a low center of gravity, so it travels very, very nice. All of this is again that electrostatic matching kind of powder coated paint. All the wiring is inside, steel frame, no angle iron, right? And you've got the hose reels that are actually chest high, and the hose reels have held up surprisingly well. I don't think I've replaced one of these within 3 or 4 or 5 years of when we sold the TRV.
Yep.
And then you've got the optional utility basket or box on the end. You can get saddle racks. And you've got some nice things, like you got an integrated wand holder over here on the right. It's already comes for a dealer and for a customer. It's already pre-plumbed. So it's a very, very nice trailer. And I bet you we've sold probably 50 of these just in the last couple of years, because customers really like them and they're very versatile. And they look great even after, 4 or 5 years of hard use. So that's the TRV.
One thing I want to point out about this one too, this one is obviously set up for safety just like all the Landa equipment is. This trailer comes with the breakaway kit. Most of our competitors will not put that on. This meets the National Highway Safety and Transportation Board. So this thing's ready to go from the factory. Not only does it have electric brakes on the axles, but if this thing were to come unhooked from the tow vehicle, this cable gets pulled, locks the wheels, doesn't careen off into oncoming traffic. So
Great point.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, great point.
Really like to say.
Yeah, and of course folding jack,
Rock
that
guard.
kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, rock. Yeah, we have this is an option on here, just
Yep.
like the utility rack. But okay, hey, well, this is pretty nice to have a Landa sales trainer here.
It was
on
fun.
the line. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks for having me.
So as you can see, when it comes to the hot water engine powered unit, I don't think there's a better lineup from anybody than Landa, and it's been the choice for contractors and rental yards, mobile contract cleaners for years, and we see that continuing. So thanks for watching. You can see more on our website at www.sceclean.com or it'sadirtyworld.com. Our toll-free number is 800-635-4903. Thank you, Nate.
Thanks, Greg.
Yep, and thanks for watching.